Hello, and a massive thank you to all my subscribers and my new subscribers. Thank you very much. Thank you for the likes and the comments. It goes a long way for me. It means a lot. As mentioned in my last video, I showed 3 vehicles which I wanted to do. Couldn't decide, so I asked you guys to decide for me. And obviously it's the ambulance. So here it is. As you can see, very heavily air painted. In fact, they'd actually filled everybody's the hospital crosses and put tape over it. When I first got it, I took it off, dug it out just to explore what was going on with it. The doors are quite heavily painted over. They're quite stiff. I can't get them open. Never mind, I'll have a look at it later. So as you can see, there it is. Let's get it off the table, get it taken apart and see what we got. I'll be back in a minute. Bear with me, guys. Well, here we are. So I've gone ahead and I've done all the grinding and the drilling off camera to make it easier. And so this is what we've got. So if I can just get these wheels off. There we go. So let's have a look at these wheels. As you can see, they were painted. So you can see that. The tyres are perished. I'm going to need to replace the tyres. The axles are going to need cleaning up. But they are straight. They're not bent, which is a bonus. You can see the original colour there on the back just about. It's a little bit grubby. So they'll need to be done. I do have a pot somewhere, but I'll have to fetch that in a bit. Right, now to the main body. So there was three rivets. 1, 2, 3. So I've gone ahead and taken care of those. I hope I drilled it off enough. Soon find out. Let's see if I can get this apart. Right. There we go. Oh, okay, that one's off. So there's a little hook tab in here. If I can work this out nice and slowly without damaging it. That's quite tight in there, guys. Bit of perseverance, it will come out. It's just, obviously it's been painted over, so it's making it a little bit harder. Bear with me, guys, I can do this off camera. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, sorry about that, guys, I had to do it off camera. It is very heavily over painted there. There's a little bit of a chore trying to get that off. I can see it's bent the plate a little bit there. Not an issue. I can straighten that back out. As you can see, the driver's missing, but the actual seat pillar is still in situ, which is always a bonus. Right, now let's move over to see if I can get this apart. See if I've drawn it out enough. Crikey. Let's have a look. Bear with me, guys. Can I get a screwdriver in there? That's right, I'm doing this while looking through the camera. Not the easiest thing. Crikey, I'm bending the bumper here. Bumper? The wheel arch. Oh dear. A lot of paint on there. A lot of paint on here. My gosh. That is... See if I can get these doors open. Come on, there we go. And this one. Come on. Up you come. Right. Can I get any leverage in this way? Let me try the bigger screwdriver. Hold on. Let's get the big bugger in here. Wow. This is really in there. So, give it another go with the drill. I'm going to do this off camera, bear with me, guys. Oh, that feels better. Sorry about that. Did it off camera. Sorry, guys. As you can see, I'm not very well prepared on this one. It's paint all down here. Let's see if I can free it up. God, it's a bugger this one is. Oh, that was nearly my finger. Sorry, guys. You have to bear with me because I'm trying to do this while looking over the camera at the same time. Not easy. Oh, the struggles. I could do with a nice drink right now. Right. This isn't looking great, is it? I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'm going to do this off camera. And I'll come back to you. I'm ever so sorry, but do bear with me. Right, I managed to get it to pop. Bloody hell. And here we go. That is tight. Is there another rivet in there? Hold on, guys. It's this one here. Let me see if I can tap that with my little hammer. If I can find it. I had it a minute ago. Here we go. Bear with me, guys. See if that's made a difference. This is turning out to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Let me just get the drill on that minute. Alright. Bleeding out. Some video this has turned out to be, guys. There's me thinking I'm making a nice easy video, but I can't. Bear with me, guys. Now, when I'm not filming anything, I could do it like that. Because I'm trying to make a proper video, everything's going wrong. But that ain't a problem. I'm just going to do this off camera and then come back to you. Bear with me, guys. I'm not going to lie, that was in there pretty hard. So, we got 1, 2, 3 posts I need to drill out to take a fixing point. Get me words out, what's wrong with me? So, there's that. Okay, so we got that part. Next we have to do the doors. Cab is in reasonable condition, I suppose. Right, cutters, side cutters, here we go. So I'm going to cut these and I'm going to make some more using paper clips. So there's Bob. There's your one. Oh, I don't know where that went. Let's pull that out. Get rid of that. Oh, there goes the door. And that one there. And that is... So that's the doors off. So as you can see, these are... Sorry guys. Absolutely terrible. Here we go. So you can see that. Very heavily painted. That needs to be done. And then the original colour there. So yeah, got a lot of work to do. So what I'm going to do next, and I'll do that off camera, is I'm going to draw these posts out, ready to take the fixings, and then we'll get it stripped then. So bear with me guys, I'll get right back to you. Okay, so what I've done so far is I've taken a paper clip, box and a paper clip. I've made the retaining pins for the rear door. So this is the, if you can see that, hold on. This is the original pin, and when you compare it, the diameters are the same. So best bit of kit you can have is a paper clip. So anyone that does this, keep plenty of paper clips. They come in handy. So what I've done is I've straightened the paper clip out, and there we have it for hinges for the doors. All I've done on the top there, if I can get this to focus, as you can see, I've crimped it, crimped the top. It drops in quite nicely and is just enough to hold the door in place. Then what I'll do then, when I come to fix this back on, I shall crimp the bottom part of the door then, and that will hold everything in place, and we should be in for a winner. So as you can see, the doors now, they open up perfectly now, unlike before where they were all painted and jammed. So that bit, get my words out, should be in for a winner. So next thing I got to do now is get this dipped, stripped, and get it ready for painting. So by the way guys, I do apologise for the blurriness in this. Is, you know, everything seems to be going wrong tonight for some reason on the camera. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm here as well. These pillars, unfortunately, there's not much meat on the bone to put in a 2mm hole, because these are literally 2.5mm, these pillars. So what I've done, I drilled a 1mm hole, and I'm going to make my own rivets to go back in there. I did the same when I did the Pour 17 on the 2 rivets on the side. I had to make up my own rivets. So I'll be doing the same for this. I'll be making up my own rivets for this to get it all back together, and it'll work. Trust me, guys. So bear with me, guys. I'll get this thing stripped, and then we'll have a look at painting it. Okay? Okay, guys. So we've got it all stripped down now and ready to go. So as you can see, it's all nice and clean. When it comes to wire brushing these down, I don't use those little wheels and the Dremel, because these bits bloody go everywhere. They get stuck in your clothing. Plus my dogs come in here, they get stuck in the dog, so I use these. Okay, cheap to buy, as you can see. So I got these off the internet, only a couple of quid, and just give it a brush over. That's brilliant. I use a still one, by the way, for brushing the mirror with, and they come up really well. Now the paint I'm going to use for this, if I just put this to one side a moment, the paint I'm using is a Humbrol. It's a matte green, and it's a 155. That's the colour I'm using for this. So there's a little bit gelatinous at the moment, and as I've already used some from the pot, I've got a bit of space, so I'm going to thin it down. So I've got a bit of white spirit in here. You don't need too much. So if I just give this a little bit of a mix, get those pigments mixed in. It is an oil-based paint, guys, so bear that in mind. And as you say, it's quite gloopy. Yeah, very, very thick. I'm not going to add too much. That's 5 drops I've put in there so far, and I'll give that a mix. I want to get it to a consistency almost like a cream. Not quite a cream, but almost like a cream. See how that's running there? That is perfect. Some paints you need to put a little bit more white spirit in, but it depends on the paint that you're using. But this one is not too bad. It's quite forgivable. Right, so I'll put that back in there. This, by the way, is what I use to wash my brushes in as well. Bit of white spirit, because like I said, it's an oil base. So the brushes I've selected are these two. They are a watercolour brush, and they are a synthetic sable brush. The reason why I use these is, one, they're very soft, and they hold the paint really well. Once I clean them, I'll let them dry. I'll give them a bit of a rub across the brush, wire brush, like this. And it just keeps them all nice and fluffed up. Very soft brushes, really good to work with. So what I'll do a little bit in front of you guys, and I'll do the rest off camera. So what I'll do, I always start on the base first, on the bottom part, and then paint all this. I'll leave it to dry. If it needs a second coat, I'll give it a second coat. I normally give 2 coats anyway, and then I'll leave it to dry. If I'm doing something like a yellow or a red, so with a yellow I'll put a white base coat down, because obviously you need to, the yellow, you get words out, the yellow could be quite transparent. The same with the red. With the red I'll put a grey base coat down, and I get a better result using that way. So with this being an oil-based paint as well, when it dries, it dries harder than a water-based paint, and you get a better finish. So I find with the water-based paints, when they dry, they get like a plastic, and sometimes they just peel off. You know, even when you put a glaze over, it peels off. With these, they're a little bit more hard-wearing. So if you look, when you look at some of the old cars, you see they're all chipped away. You know, that's because it's an oil-based paint. They chip, whereas water-based paints, they peel. So bear that in mind, guys. This is why I like using this. I'll get a better result from it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I mean, I haven't got my camera set up very well, and I do apologise. Plus, I'm recording using a phone. So actually, it's not too much on the brush. Okay, you don't want to go too heavy with it. You're literally just kissing that metal. You're not pushing hard on it. Okay, just nice and gentle there. Sorry you can't see it very well, can you? I do apologise, guys. I think this will need a second coat. Definitely need a second coat. But this is going on really well. To be honest, I probably could get away with 1 coat, but I'll put a second coat on it, just for my peace of mind, really, more than anything. As you can see, that's what we're looking like so far. Just don't put too much on, okay, guys? Just a little bit at a time. Sorry, I should be doing this on the camera. I'm not. I do apologise. I've got my angle set up really wrong on this. I haven't got a fancy stand or anything. Well, I have got a stand, but it isn't very good. I can't set it up how I want it set up. So I'm going to have to find a better alternative. But as you can see, look at that. So, like I say, just take your time. Don't rush. With the matte paints, they're quite forgivable, really. Your gloss ones, when you're painting with the gloss ones, especially if you're painting in warm weathers, they can pull as you're painting. You get like a drag mark, so that's where you need to add a bit more thinner to it to make it flow a bit better. If this was a gloss, I'd be working a lot more quicker. But with a matte paint, like I said, they're a little bit less, temperamental. When this dries, it'll dry nice and flat as well. At the moment, it looks very built up in areas, but trust me, it's not, guys. It's just the light. And as you can see, I'm not putting too much pressure on this. I'm just gently brushing it. Well, I hope you can see, because as I say, I got the camera angles correct. And see, thinning it down does help. It helps a lot. Don't worry if you miss areas. You can always pick them back up on your second coat. So what I'm doing now on these edges here, as you can see, I'm brushing across the edges. Nice and simple. And it's like I say, as this dries, it flattens out quite nicely, because obviously that white spirit in there, it helps it flow. So this is what we've got so far. Let's pick that bit up on the inside there. This is a cheaper alternative to using the rat cans or spray cans, however you want to call them. The jar of this, if you actually go on the Revel website, I know this is Humble, but if you go to the Revel website, you can buy them off there, and I believe so the same with the Humble. Shop around for these, guys. Amazon can be quite expensive for these. I've seen them asking anything that's £8 for a tin. That's ridiculous. Shop around, guys. You can get these cheaper, okay? Normally on average about £2 a tin, roughly thereabouts. Some places you can get them cheaper, depends on the colour. So bear that in mind, guys, when you are looking for these. It's like I said, don't put too much on. The last thing you want is when it dries, you end up with a run. There we go. A little bit too much in there, so I'll take some off. I'll just rub a brush on the paper. And there we are. Now with things like this here, don't panic too much, because that will dry back quite nicely. Once it's dry, you won't notice it. Okay, do the same on the other side. So as you can see, it's going matte already. It's where it's drying quite quickly. However, I would recommend between coats, I always leave it for about a good 2 to 3 hours before I give it a second coat. And then before I proceed to the top side of the vehicle, I'll leave it overnight to dry. Because it's not like your water-based paints where it's dry within an hour. It does take a little bit longer with this. See, I find also with the water-based paints, some paints, they just don't dry right. I've had it before, especially the spray cans. I've had a spray can before. Cost me an arm and a leg. And the damn thing wouldn't dry, and that was a yellow for some reason. It didn't dry. And in the end, I actually left it for about 6 days to dry, and even after 6 days, it still was not dry. It was still tacky. Whereas this, I'll wake up tomorrow morning and it'll be dry. It'll be perfect. So a lot of patience is required for this. I know it's not for some people, but when you're on a budget, it works. You know, it works for me. Okay. As you can see, there's the side. Ooh, I put my finger on that there. That's better. Right, let's flip it to the other side without touching everything. Sorry guys, I know I keep going off camera sometimes with this, I do apologise. Like I say, I haven't got myself set up in the best position. See, now these awkward areas I can get into now, I mean this brush is quite soft like I say, so it gets in there quite nicely. But sometimes you want to get a round brush in these areas. But this is proving okay, this one, so hence the reason why I've not swapped brushes yet. But normally I'll swap brushes partway through, just to get into those awkward areas. So these side bits here, I know I painted them. But bearing in mind when the cap goes back on here, these side bits are going to be inside there. So I'll probably end up scraping this away just to get a better fix inside the actual shell. Oop, I just dropped that in. But yeah, that's okay. Right, so that is, if I just pop this to one side a minute. Here we go. So you can see where it's starting to dry in certain areas already. The mat's coming through. So I'm going to leave that now for a good couple of hours. I'll then get another coat. I'll leave that overnight to dry. And then what I'll do then is, once that's dry, I'll flip it over and I'll do the other side. So all these now, they'll all get done on one side. So this one I'll get done the side. The doors, well, they can just flip-flop those doors, it's not a problem. So that's that bit. So next video, next shot, we'll have it all painted up. So bear with me. Well guys, as you see here it is all put back together. I did have the footage of me putting it together, but for some reason I deleted it whilst I was editing this video. Really sorry guys. So here we have it. It's a Dinky military ambulance and it's the number 626. So the green is dry, a little bit dark, a little bit lighter rather than I would have liked. As I go forward, I think I'll go for a darker green. As you can see, I did find some transfers, and I've also got the driver in there as well. So transfers front and rear. The pins in the end, I used a paper clip like I said I was going to do. And if I can get this to work, basically what I've done, I've just crimped the top and the bottom of the pin, and that's all I've done to hold it in place. And the doors now, well, they open up perfectly fine now, whereas before they didn't because they're painted shut. Yeah, rolls quite nicely. So for making the pins at the back is literally, it's just a paper clip. If I just move this to one side, these are a set of mole grips, an old set of mole grips, and what I've done is I've grinded off the teeth at the front here and here, and also I ground down this section here. Otherwise, if you don't grind it down, you can't get it to close, so you need to grind that down as well. And this works on all the axles, by the way. This is what I use for all my axles that are crimped. So you just pop it in, and just drop the safety paper clip. Get my words right. So just pop that in there, and then right. It's hard to do this in front of the camera, and I do apologise. I know I keep saying I apologise, but I do. And then there you have it, all crimped over, and it just sits in there. If the crimp's a little bit too tall, you know, with a bit of paper clip and all, it's just easy to say that looking for the camera, snip them off. So yeah, guys, I hope this video is okay for you guys. Going forward, I'll try and make these videos a bit better than what they are. This is my first time editing, like I said. But there it is. The Dinky military ambulance number 626. So thanks, guys. And I'll catch you in the next video.